I actually have to correct that. It's 17 years now.
17?
Yeah.
That's even a longer time.
Yeah.
Now, World AIDS Day, we're celebrating that today.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you?
For me, it actually says we need to get the wording right, that we can't even be calling it a celebration when we've lost millions of people, lost them to a tiny, so pathetically small virus that from the beginning, when we introduced it, we should have stuck to the brief. Scientists said it's a viral infection that causes immune deficiency. We came up with different phrases, war metaphors. It's a time bomb. It's catastrophic. It's a ugaulayo phamukati. I mean, so many words that have nothing to do with a viral infection that causes immune deficiency. And because of that, many people were lost in the translation. And for me, it becomes an opportunity every year that we go back and reflect, look at what we've done wrong, because I mean, it doesn't matter how well and accurately you follow the directions. If your first 10 was wrong, you'll never reach your destination.
So what you are suggesting is that the narrative should change?
The narrative should change. We need to go back to the basics. What was it about? It was a viral infection that causes immune deficiency. And our response to it was more on sexual transmission only. It was more on commercializing the responses to HIV. What do I mean by that? Today, the only symbol that is associated with HIV are just ribbons and condoms. And when we talk about comprehensive care, we talk treatment, we talk care and support. We've never unpacked the care and support. What does it mean? We know so much about the treatment part, that you take antiretrovirals at a certain point in your life. But what does care and support entail? And are we fully resourced as a country, as the world, in responding to managing HIV in our society? I mean, everybody today gets shocked. Why are people not using condoms? We haven't asked them. Because if we were to pay attention and ask them, we would know that there's a segment of people who are responding negatively to using condoms. We haven't taught them about lubrication. There are people, when they use condoms, they get hurt. We haven't had those conversations. There are people who are allergic to the latex. We haven't had those conversations. It's all about, just the one size fits all. As I say, you do. And unfortunately, the as I say, you do, the many sayers don't do themselves.
But HIV affects the entire family. How did your family react when you first told them about your infection?
I think one of the things that I'm so grateful about, when I started talking about my personal story, it was never from a point of, let's come and have a disclosure ceremony now that Criselda has HIV, I've got something to share. But it was more from coming from a nursing background, looking at my environment and seeing how I struggled to make sense out of a viral infection that at the time was said to be affecting people who are promiscuous, people who make wrong decisions about their health and well-being, and there was not fitting in the category of the description of HIV and having to deal with it. What did that mean to me? And what it meant is read, ask questions, learn as much as you can. And in my talking about it, it was never to seek reaction from other people, because that can always deter you. I can't control what you say about me when I tell you about my HIV status. All I can control is how I respond to what you say about me. So it was never from a point of, seeking sympathy, but it was more about there's so much power in knowledge. I know something, and therefore I'm sharing the something. And family was very supportive.
World AIDS Day today, once again, but what advice can you give to people out there living with the virus?
I think governments have done so much, companies have done so much money has been spent. We have so many resources throughout the world. It's time for us to start personalizing the risk of infection. That what does it mean to me as an individual? When I say World AIDS Day, I mean, even the notion of us talking about looking forward to an AIDS-free generation in 2030. How do we get there when we haven't even defined what AIDS is? AIDS are diseases that are treatable and curable, but because we've labeled them with a stigma of a viral infection that's sexually transmitted, once again, we're lost in the translation. So let's go back to those basics and understand the meaning for me as an individual.
Criselda, thank you so much for joining us
It's
here
an
in studio.
absolute pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
That was Criselda Dudu-Marche in studio with us.